The chamber was enormous. It stretched so wide that Ambassador Chen Wei could barely see the far walls. Thousands of seats rose in circles around the center floor. Each seat held an alien being. Some had scales. Some had fur. Some glowed with strange light. Some floated in tanks of colored liquid. This was the Galactic Council, and today they would judge humanity. Chen stood alone on the center platform. His simple gray suit looked plain compared to the jeweled robes and shimmering armor around him. Behind him, a hologram showed Earth's fleet. 200 ships. They looked small on the massive display screen. Honored members of the Galactic Council, Chen began. His voice was calm and steady. Humanity comes before you in peace. We have achieved faster than light travel. We wish to join the galactic community. We offer friendship, trade, and cooperation. A sound like thunder rolled through the chamber. It took Chen a moment to realize what it was. Laughter. They were laughing at him. High Counselor Vexthor rose from his seat. He was a Zalthari, tall and proud. His skin was deep purple. His 4 eyes gleamed with amusement. Golden armor covered his chest. Rings of power decorated each of his 6 fingers. 200 ships, Vexthor said. His voice boomed across the chamber. You come before us with 200 tiny ships and ask to join the council? More laughter echoed around the room. Chen's face remained blank, but his hands tightened behind his back. The Zalthari hegemony controls 40,000 star systems. Vexthor continued. We command a fleet of 500,000 warships. Each one could destroy your entire fleet alone, and we are just one of 47 civilizations on this council. He walked down the steps toward Chen. Each step rang out in the sudden silence. Tell me, human, what makes you think you belong here? You are children playing with toys. You have nothing to offer us. Chen met his gaze without blinking. We offer our knowledge, our culture, our perspective. We may be new to the stars, but we have much to share. Share? Vexthor laughed again. It was a cruel sound. You have nothing we want, but perhaps we can find a use for you. The Council will grant Earth probationary membership. You may establish limited trade. You may not vote on Council matters. You will pay tribute of 10% of your gross planetary product, and you will obey all Council directives without question. Those terms are unacceptable, Chen said quietly. Vexthor leaned close. Then leave. Go back to your tiny world and play in your own system. The galaxy has no place for the weak. Chen stood silent for a long moment. Then he bowed slightly. Very well. We accept your terms. For now. The council erupted in cheers and more laughter. Vexthor returned to his seat with a satisfied smile. Chen walked back to his ship alone. The other delegates did not even look at him as he passed. Inside his ship, Chen finally let his face show emotion. Anger burned in his eyes. He opened a secure channel to Earth. Admiral Kowalski, he said. They took the bait perfectly. They think we are helpless. They have no idea. The screen showed a woman with iron gray hair and cold blue eyes. Admiral Sarah Kowalski had led Earth's true military for 30 years. She did not smile often. She did not smile now. Good, she said. The reserve fleet remains hidden. All ships are ready. We show them what they expect to see. We wait, we watch, and when the time comes, we show them the truth. And what is the truth, Admiral? Chen asked. Kowalski's eyes grew even colder. That humanity learned long ago never to show our full strength. That we prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That those 200 ships in your display represent 0.04% of our actual military force, and that anyone who mistakes our caution for weakness will regret it. She leaned forward. We spent 40 years building in secret. We hollowed out asteroids. We dug bases under the ice of Europa. We carved shipyards into the rock of Titan. We built factories in the darkness of the Oort cloud. And we built them all with one purpose, to make sure that if we ever met hostile aliens, we would never be the victims. How long until they reveal their true nature? Chen asked. Not long, Kowalski said. Bullies always push harder once they think they have won. The Zalthari will try to take more. They will demand more tribute. They will seize our colonies. They will push and push until we have no choice but to push back. And when we do, they will learn what it means to threaten Earth. Chen nodded slowly. I almost feel sorry for them. Don't, Kowalski said. They made their choice when they laughed at us. When they demanded tribute. When they treated us like slaves. We gave them a chance for real friendship. They chose dominance instead. Now they will learn why humanity survived 10,000 years of war on Earth, why we clawed our way to the top of our food chain, why we never give up and never surrender. The transmission ended. Chen sat in his command chair and looked at the stars outside his window. Somewhere out there, 500,000 human warships waited in the darkness, hidden, patient, ready. The Galactic Council thought humanity was weak. They would learn better soon enough. Humanity had been underestimated before. It never ended well for those who made that mistake. Chen smiled grimly. Let them laugh now. Let them enjoy their moment of superiority. The reckoning would come, and when it did, the entire galaxy would remember this day. The day they mocked Earth's fleet, they would remember it as the biggest mistake they ever made. 15 months passed. Earth paid its tribute. Human traders followed council rules. The small fleet of 200 ships stayed close to human space. Everything seemed normal. Everything was according to plan. Then the Zalthari came to New Hope Colony. New Hope was a farming world. 50,000 humans lived there. They grew food in rich soil under a yellow sun. They had 5 defense ships. Old ones, slow ones. Everyone knew they could not fight a real threat. That was the point. Commander Torres watched the Zalthari fleet arrive on his scanner. 20 warships. They were massive. Each one was 3 times larger than his largest ship. All ships stand down, Torres ordered. Do not engage. Follow Protocol 7. His crew looked at him with confusion. Sir, they are entering our space. We follow orders, Torres said firmly. But inside his heart was pounding. He knew what Protocol 7 meant. It meant retreat. It meant looking weak. It meant letting them take whatever they wanted. But he also knew why. The Zalthari commander sent a message. Humans of New Hope. This system is poorly defended. You clearly cannot protect it. The Zalthari hegemony will now administer this world for your own protection. Surrender immediately. Torres sent back a weak protest. He argued a little. Not too much. Just enough to look real. Then he ordered his ships to jump away. They fled. The colonists watched in horror as their defenders abandoned them. But Torres was smiling as his ship jumped to hyperspace. Message sent to Earth Command. His communications officer reported. New Hope is occupied as expected. Good, Torres said. 1 down. Let's see how greedy they really are. 2 weeks later, the Zalthari took Freedom Station. A month after that, they seized the mining colony on Kepler Prime. Each time, human defenders retreated. Each time, Earth sent formal protests. Each time, the Zalthari ignored them. The Galactic Council did nothing. Some members expressed concern. Most stayed silent. A few even congratulated the Zalthari on their expansion. After all, humans were weak. Everyone could see that. What no one could see was what lay beneath the surface of Europa. 10 miles below the ice in the dark ocean, lights blazed. Massive shipyards stretched for hundreds of miles. Thousands of workers moved in sealed suits. Giant machines carved metal. Welding torches flared like small stars. Captain Maria Rodriguez stood on the observation deck. She watched her ship take shape. It was beautiful and terrible. A dreadnought. 2 miles long. Armor thick enough to stop anything. Weapons powerful enough to crack a planet. And it was just one of thousands. Captain Rodriguez, a voice said behind her. She turned to see Admiral Kowalski. Admiral, Rodriguez saluted. The Thunderchild will be ready in 3 days. Good. You will take command of Battle Group Theta. 40 dreadnoughts. You will jump to Assembly Point Zulu and await further orders. Rodriguez felt her pulse quicken. It is happening then. We are going active? Soon, Kowalski said. She looked out at the shipyard. We have 500,000 dreadnoughts, hidden in every corner of the solar system and beyond, some in asteroid bases, some buried in moons, some in deep space cold and dark waiting. The Zalthari think they are strong. They have no idea what strength really means. Why did we build so many? Rodriguez asked. It seems like more than we would ever need. Kowalski turned to face her. Because humanity learned a hard lesson. For thousands of years we fought each other on Earth. Wars killed billions. Empires rose and fell. We learned that peace only comes from strength. Real strength. Overwhelming strength. Not enough to win. Enough to make sure no one dares to start a fight in the first place. She pointed at the ships being built. Every one of these dreadnoughts represents a promise. A promise that humanity will never be the victim again. that no one will ever destroy us, that no one will ever enslave us. We will be the ones with the power, and we will use it wisely, but we will have it. On Mars, similar shipyards hummed with activity. On Titan, massive forges melted metal and shaped it into weapons. In the Oort cloud, factories assembled ships in the freezing darkness. On the Moon, underground bunkers held enough ammunition to fight for a century. 40 years of secret construction. 40 years of preparation, all leading to this moment. In his palace on Zalthar Prime, Emperor Zexal celebrated. 3 human colonies now belonged to him. The humans had done nothing. They were even weaker than he thought. Perhaps he would take more. Perhaps all of them, why not? Who would stop him? He called High Counselor Vexthor. Those humans, they are quite pathetic. I think we should make them an official protectorate. They will work for us. Mine for us. Farm for us. It will be profitable, Vexthor laughed. An excellent idea, my emperor. They have no choice. They are completely helpless. I will prepare the announcement. But on Earth, in the Solar Parliament building, alarms began to sound. President Hassan stood before the emergency session. All 200 representatives were present. The mood was grim. The Zalthari Emperor has declared humanity a protectorate, Hassan said. He demands we surrender all remaining colonies. He demands 20% tribute. He demands our military surrender and disband. He has given us 72 hours to comply. Silence filled the chamber. I call for a vote, Hassan continued. All in favor of activating Protocol Pandora. Every hand rose. Every single one. The vote is unanimous, Hassan said quietly. Admiral Kowalski, you have full authorization. Release the fleet. Across the solar system, orders flashed out. In hidden bases, lights came on. Engines that had been cold for years roared to life. Weapon systems activated. Crews rushed to their stations. Admiral Kowalski stood in Earth Command Center. Around her, screens showed the fleet awakening. 500,000 ships. All of them ready. All of them armed. All of them angry. She opened a channel to every ship. Her face appeared on 500,000 screens. This is Admiral Kowalski to all vessels of Earth's true fleet. For 40 years we have hidden. We have waited. We have prepared. Today we show the galaxy what we really are. Today we show them that humanity bows to no one. Today we show them our teeth, she paused. Her voice grew colder. The Zalthari wanted to make us slaves. They will learn that humans are not prey. We are predators. We are the species that climbed to the top of Earth's food chain. And we did not do it by being weak. All ships, prepare for jump. Target Zalthar Prime. Operation Reckoning begins now. 500,000 dreadnoughts began their jump to war. The galaxy was about to learn a lesson it would never forget. The message from Earth reached Zalthar Prime at noon. Emperor Zexal was eating lunch when his aide rushed in. Your Majesty, the humans have responded to your ultimatum, and the Emperor did not look up from his meal. They refuse. They demand you return all occupied colonies within 72 hours. They say if you do not comply, there will be military consequences. Zexal stopped eating. He looked at his aide. Then he started laughing. He laughed so hard he had to put down his fork. Military consequences? From the humans? With their 200 ships? He wiped tears from his eyes. Send a message to High Counselor Vexthor. Tell him to assemble a punishment fleet. 50,000 ships should be enough. Actually, make it look impressive. We want the other species to see what happens when someone defies us. Across Zalthari space, the greatest fleet in their history began to gather. 50,000 warships. It was massive overkill for dealing with humanity. Everyone knew it. That was the point. This was not about military necessity. This was about sending a message. About showing the galaxy who had the real power. Galactic news networks broadcast constantly. Reporters from dozens of species covered the story. The most watched show was hosted by a Valorian named Crix. Today's top story, Crix said with obvious amusement. The humans have declared war on the Zalthari hegemony. Yes, you heard that right. War. The species with 200 ships is threatening the hegemony with 500,000. In related news, my pet fish has declared war on the ocean. His audience laughed. The comments section filled with jokes. Memes spread across the galactic network. Humanity became a punchline. But in human space, something was changing. Something the rest of the galaxy could not see. On Europa, massive doors opened in the ice. Water flooded out as dreadnoughts rose from the hidden ocean. Each one was enormous. Each one carried enough firepower to destroy a city. There were thousands of them. Captain Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the Thunderchild as it emerged into space. Around her, 39 other dreadnoughts of Battle Group Theta followed. They formed up in perfect formation. "All ships reporting ready, Captain," her tactical officer said. "Set course for Assembly Point Zulu," Rodriguez ordered. "And remember, people, we are not alone out here. There are 12,499 other battle groups just like ours. Together we are unstoppable." On Mars, ships lifted off from underground hangars. The planet's surface was covered with false buildings and fake settlements. Beneath them, vast military bases had worked in secret for decades. Now their products emerged into the light. Dreadnoughts by the hundreds, by the thousands. In the asteroid belt, rock split open. They were not natural asteroids. They were hollowed-out fortresses. Inside each one, more ships waited. They had been there for years, cold and silent, systems in sleep mode. Now they woke. Fusion reactors ignited. Weapon systems came online. The false asteroids broke apart completely as fleets emerged. On Titan, orange clouds swirled as massive doors opened in the surface. Ships rose through the thick atmosphere. These were built for endurance, for long campaigns, for wars that would not end quickly. In the Oort cloud at the very edge of the solar system, the coldest and darkest bases began their awakening. These ships had been furthest from the sun, furthest from detection. They had waited the longest. Now they moved, slowly at first, then faster, heading inward toward the inner system, toward the gathering point, toward war. Even on the moon, hidden bases opened. Launch facilities that looked like research stations revealed their true purpose. Supply ships and support vessels lifted off. An army needs logistics. Humanity understood this better than anyone. In Earth Command, Admiral Kowalski watched it all on her screens. Each dot was a ship. Each cluster was a battle group. The display showed the entire solar system. It was filled with dots, filled with ships, filled with power. All battle groups are online, her chief of staff reported. Total count 500,000 dreadnoughts. All systems green. All weapons ready. All crews at battle stations. Time to full assembly, Kowalski asked. 48 hours. The Oort cloud ships need time to reach the jump point. Kowalski nodded. And the Zalthari fleet? Still gathering at their staging area. Intelligence estimates they have 50,000 ships. They are treating this as a show of force, not a real battle. They are right about one thing, Kowalski said quietly. This will definitely be a show of force, just not the way they expect. She opened a fleet-wide channel. Her face appeared on 500,000 screens again. All ships, this is Admiral Kowalski. You have trained for this. You have prepared for this. Some of you have been waiting in the dark for years. Now your time has come. We are going to show the Zalthari what it means to threaten Earth. We are going to show them what it means to enslave human beings. We are going to show them what happens when you mistake patience for weakness. She paused, letting her words sink in. Our doctrine is simple. Acceptable losses are 0. Enemy survivors are 0. We do not fight fair. We do not give second chances. We bring overwhelming force and we use it. The Zalthari wanted to see humanity's teeth. They wanted to see our fleet. They wanted to see our power. We will give them exactly what they asked for, she smiled. It was not a kind smile. Remember why we built this fleet. Remember every war in human history. Remember every time we were nearly wiped out. Remember every time we came back stronger. The Zalthari think they are apex predators. They have never met real predators. They are about to learn. All ships prepare for final jump in 48 hours. Target Zalthar Prime. We end this quickly and completely. Kowalski out. On the Thunderchild, Captain Rodriguez looked at her crew. They were young, eager, ready. Most had never seen real combat, but they had trained for years. They knew their ship. They knew their weapons. And they believed in their mission. You heard the Admiral, Rodriguez said. Get some rest.
Check your gear.
Write letters home if you want. In 2 days, we make history. In 2 days, we show the galaxy that Earth does not bluff. In 2 days, the Zalthari hegemony learns why you should never threaten humanity. 48 hours later, the human fleet was ready. 500,000 dreadnoughts, all in position, all armed, all waiting for the order. Admiral Kowalski looked at the display one more time. So many ships, so much power. 40 years of work, 40 years of secrets. All for this moment, all ships, she said calmly. Jump, space door open. Reality bent. 500,000 ships vanished from human space in a wave of distorted light. They reappeared in Zalthari space 3 hours later. The jump took time. So many ships created gravitational waves. Space itself groaned under the strain. But they made it. All 500,000. Not one lost. Not one left behind. The Zalthari detected them immediately. Their sensors went crazy. Alarm screamed. Officers stared at their screens in disbelief. High Counselor Vexthor was on his flagship when the reports came in. Sir, multiple contacts. Hundreds of contacts! No, thousands. Sensors cannot count them all. What? Vexthor rushed to the display. His eyes went wide. That cannot be right. Check the sensors. They must be malfunctioning. Sir, sensors are working perfectly. There are 500,000 ships in front of us. All human, all dreadnoughts. Vexthor felt his blood turn cold. 500,000. It was impossible. Where did they come from? How did they build so many? Where had they been hiding? Then he remembered. The council chambers. Ambassador Chen standing alone. The hologram showing 200 ships. The laughter. The mockery. They had been deceived. Completely and utterly deceived. All ships. Vexthor said, his voice shaking. Battle stations. Prepare for combat, but he knew the truth. 50,000 ships against 500,000. It was not a battle. It was an execution. And the Zalthari hegemony was about to be executed. The Battle of Zalthar Prime lasted 4 hours and 17 minutes. Historians would later call it the most one-sided military engagement in galactic history. It began with silence. The human fleet hung in space like a wall of steel. 500,000 dreadnoughts in perfect formation. They did not move. They did not speak. They simply waited. The Zalthari fleet looked tiny in comparison. 50,000 ships that had seemed so impressive now looked like toys. High Counselor Vexthor stared at his screen. His 4 eyes could not process what they were seeing. It was too much. Too many ships. Too much power. Open a channel, he said quietly. His voice had lost all its arrogance. Admiral Kowalski's face appeared on his screen. She looked calm. Almost bored. Admiral, Vexthor began. Perhaps we can discuss terms. There has been a misunderstanding. We did not realize, and you did not realize we had teeth, Kowalski interrupted. You thought we were weak. You thought you could take what you wanted. You were wrong. You have one chance to surrender. Power down your weapons. Shut down your shields. Prepare to be boarded. You have 60 seconds. But surely we can... 55 seconds. Vexthor looked at his tactical display. Even if every Zalthari ship performed perfectly, they were outnumbered 10-1. There was no path to victory. No clever strategy. No last-minute miracle. But pride is a powerful thing, and the Zalthari had been proud for a very long time. All ships, Vexthor ordered. Attack formation. We are Zalthari. We do not surrender. Kowalski's expression did not change. Very well. All human ships, weapons free, engage. The human fleet opened fire. Space lit up with weapons fire. Missiles by the millions. Energy beams that could cut through planets. Railgun rounds moving at a fraction of light speed. The humans did not hold back. They did not try to minimize damage. They simply unleashed everything. Captain Rodriguez watched from the Thunderchild as her battle group engaged. 20 human dreadnoughts focused their fire on a single Zalthari cruiser. The alien ship's shields held for 3 seconds. Then they collapsed. The ship broke apart in a flash of light. Next target, Rodriguez ordered calmly. Her crew worked like a machine, targeting, firing, moving to the next target. Again and again and again. This pattern repeated across the battlefield. Human ships operated in wolf packs, 20 ships to a pack. Each pack would select a target, destroy it completely, then move to the next. No single target faced fewer than 10 human ships at once. Most faced 20 or more. The Zalthari fought back. They were not cowards. Their weapons were powerful. But for every human ship they damaged, 100 Zalthari ships died. The mathematics were simple and brutal. Vexthor watched his fleet die. 1 by 1. Dozen by dozen. 100 by 100. His tactical officer gave constant updates. Each one worse than the last. Sir, we have lost 30% of our ships. Enemy losses 0. Sir, 50% casualties. They are not even slowing down. Sir, 70% lost. We cannot win. We cannot even survive, Vexthor finally understood. This was not a battle. This was an extermination. The humans were not trying to win. They were trying to eliminate every single Zalthari ship, and they were succeeding. All remaining ships, he broadcast. Retreat, jump to any safe system. Scatter and survive, some ships tried. Human fire chased them. Most died before they could jump. A few made it. About 6,000 ships escaped out of 50,000. The rest became debris. 4 hours and 17 minutes after it began, the shooting stopped. The Zalthari fleet was gone. The space around Zalthar Prime was filled with wreckage and bodies, human casualties. 14 ships damaged. 2 destroyed. 943 personnel dead. The entire fleet mourned those losses. But they were incredibly light for such a massive battle. Admiral Kowalski did not celebrate. She opened a channel to Zalthar Prime. Emperor Zexel appeared on screen. He looked old and terrified. "I surrender," he said quickly. "Unconditional surrender. We will leave the human colonies. We will pay reparations. Please, just stop." "No," Kowalski said simply. Zexel blinked. "What do you mean, no?" "We surrender. The war is over." "You wanted to enslave humanity," Kowalski said. Her voice was ice. "You wanted to make us work for you. Mine for you. Farm for you. Now you will learn what conquest really means. The Zalthari hegemony is finished. We are dismantling your government. We are occupying your worlds. We are freeing every species you have enslaved. Your empire ends today, but that is barbaric. The Galactic Council will never allow. The Galactic Council did nothing when you enslaved us," Kowalski interrupted. "They laughed. They mocked us. They let you do whatever you wanted because we seemed weak. Now they will learn the same lesson you just learned. Weakness is not the same as mercy. Patience is not the same as fear. And humanity is done being patient." She cut the transmission. Then she gave new orders, all ships, new targets. "We are going to visit every Zalthari military base in their territory. Every shipyard. Every fortress. We are going to dismantle their ability to make war, and we are going to free everyone they have conquered." Over the next 2 weeks, the human fleet moved through Zalthari space like a surgeon's knife. They destroyed military targets with precision. They avoided civilian casualties when possible. But they were thorough. Absolutely thorough. Every military station was reduced to scrap. Every shipyard was dismantled. Every fortress was evacuated and then demolished. The Zalthari military simply ceased to exist. And then the humans did something unexpected. They freed the slaves. The Zalthari had ruled over 23 other species. Some had been conquered centuries ago. Some did not even remember freedom. The humans landed on their worlds with food, medicine, and engineering equipment. They helped rebuild. They offered protection. They asked for nothing in return. Captain Rodriguez walked through the streets of Valoria, a world that had been enslaved for 300 years. The Valorians gathered around her. They touched her ship. They cried. They thanked her over and over. An old Valorian woman grabbed Rodriguez's hand. "Why?" she asked. "Why do you help us? What do you want?" Rodriguez smiled gently. "We want you to be free. We know what it is like to be threatened, to be treated as less than people. We will not let it happen to others if we can prevent it." The old woman wept. Back on Earth, the Solar Parliament met in emergency session. President Hassan stood before them. "The Zalthari hegemony has been defeated," he announced. "Their military is destroyed. Their government has collapsed. 23 species are free for the first time in centuries. Our fleet suffered minimal casualties." The mission was a complete success. The Parliament erupted in cheers, but Hassan raised his hand for silence. "We must now decide what comes next," he said. "We have shown the galaxy our strength. The question is, what do we do with it? Do we become conquerors ourselves? Do we build an empire? Or do we use our power to protect those who cannot protect themselves?" The chamber fell silent. Every representative understood the weight of this moment. Humanity had power now. Real power. How they used it would define them for centuries. Representative Kim stood. "We built this fleet to protect ourselves, to ensure we would never be victims. But we also built it to protect others. We fought the Zalthari not just for revenge, but to free those they enslaved. I say we continue that mission. We use our strength to ensure freedom, not to build another empire." The vote was unanimous. Humanity would not become conquerors. They would be protectors, guardians. The sword that defended the defenseless, Admiral Kowalski received the orders with satisfaction. This was why she had built the fleet. Not for glory, not for conquest, But to make sure that the strong could not prey on the weak anymore, the galaxy had changed. The Zalthari hegemony was gone. 23 species were free, and humanity had revealed itself as the dominant military power in known space. But the story was not over yet. Now came the hardest part. Now humanity had to prove it could be trusted with the power it had claimed. 6 months after the Battle of Zalthar Prime, the Galactic Council met again. But this time everything was different. The council chambers had been moved. The old location was on Zalthar Prime in the heart of what used to be the hegemony. Now it sat on a neutral station in open space. No single species controlled it. That was humanity's first demand. Ambassador Chen Wei walked into the chamber. He remembered the last time he was here. The laughter, the mockery, the humiliation. He wondered if any of these beings remembered it too. He knew they did. He could see it in their faces: fear, respect, caution. No one laughed now. The council speaker, a dignified Araxian named Velcor, opened the session. Ambassador Chen Wei of Earth, you have requested this emergency session. The council recognizes you. Chen stood at the center podium. This time he did not stand alone. Behind him a hologram showed the human fleet. 500,000 dreadnoughts, all of them. No more hiding, no more deception. Honored members of the council, Chen began. His voice was calm and steady, just like before. But now everyone listened. 6 months ago, the Zalthari hegemony attempted to enslave humanity. They failed. Their empire is gone. Their military is destroyed. 23 species that they had conquered are now free. He paused, letting his words sink in. Some of you are wondering why we hid our true strength. Some of you are angry that we deceived you. So I will tell you the truth. We showed you 200 ships because we wanted to see who our enemies would be. We wanted to know who would respect us and who would try to exploit us. The answer was clear. Most of you did nothing. A few tried to help, and the Zalthari tried to enslave us. Uncomfortable silence filled the chamber. Chen continued. Humanity learned long ago that peace comes from strength. Real strength. Overwhelming strength. We built this fleet over 40 years. We hid it in asteroids, on moons, under oceans, in the darkness between stars. We built it because we knew that the universe is not always kind, that the strong prey on the weak, that no one will protect you if you cannot protect yourself. He gestured at the hologram. This fleet represents a simple promise, that humanity will never be victims again, that no one will enslave us, that no one will destroy us. We are here. We are strong, and we are not going anywhere. A council member from the Karathi Union stood. Ambassador, your actions were understandable. But what do you want now? What are Earth's demands? Chen smiled slightly. Our demands are simple. First, full council membership with equal voting rights. No more probationary status. No more tribute. We are equals, or we leave and form our own alliance. Several council members nodded. That was expected. Reasonable. Second, complete military independence. We will not disarm. We will not reduce our fleet. We will not accept any restrictions on our right to defend ourselves. Our fleet is our own business, more nodding. Also reasonable, given the circumstances. Third, free trade access to all council markets. No special restrictions, no discriminatory tariffs. We trade as equals. And finally, Chen said, his voice growing harder, the council will adopt a new charter. One that protects smaller species from exploitation. One that prevents any single power from dominating others. One that makes what happened to those 23 species impossible in the future. Now there was resistance. Several council members objected. That would require major changes to council structure. It would take years to negotiate. It will happen, Chen said simply. Or Earth withdraws from this council and forms a new alliance with the 23 species we freed. And any other species that wants real protection instead of empty promises. You have 1 month to decide. He did not raise his voice. He did not need to. The hologram behind him said everything. 500,000 dreadnoughts. All ready, all armed, all loyal to Earth. The vote came 3 weeks later. It was unanimous. Every single council member voted yes, some because they believed it was right, some because they were afraid. But the result was the same. Earth became a full council member. The new charter was adopted. The galaxy began to change. After the vote, Chen met privately with Admiral Kowalski on a secure channel. She appeared on his screen looking tired but satisfied. We did it, Chen said. Everything we wanted. Full membership. Military independence. Trade rights. Protection for smaller species. Yes, Kowalski agreed. But she did not smile. But at what cost? We used force to get what we wanted. We destroyed an entire civilization. We occupied their worlds. Did we become what we fought against? Chen was quiet for a moment. It was the question that haunted him every night. No, he said finally. We did not enslave anyone. We freed slaves. We did not conquer for profit. We removed a threat. We did not destroy without cause. We defended ourselves and others. But we showed them we were willing to use overwhelming force, Kowalski said. We proved we would not hesitate to destroy anyone who threatened us. Is that justice? Or is that just might making right? Maybe it is both, Chen said. Maybe in the real universe might does make right. But what matters is what you do with that might. The Zalthari used their power to enslave. We use ours to protect. That is the difference. That is what makes us better. Kowalski nodded slowly. I hope you are right. Because the galaxy is watching us now. Watching to see if we keep our promises. Watching to see if we use our power wisely. We cannot afford to become what we defeated. We won't, Chen said with conviction. We built this fleet to protect. Not to conquer. That purpose will not change. On Earth, life continued. People worked. Children played. Cities grew. But everyone knew things were different now. Humanity was no longer a minor species taking its first steps into the galaxy. They were a major power, perhaps the major power. In the military academies, a new generation of officers trained. They studied the Battle of Zalthar Prime. They learned the lessons. They prepared for the future. One day, a young cadet named Sarah Chen approached Admiral Kowalski after a lecture. The admiral was older now. Her hair had gone completely white, but her eyes were still sharp. Admiral, the cadet asked, why did Earth build so many ships? 500,000 seems like too many. We could have built 50,000 and still been the strongest fleet in the galaxy. Kowalski looked at the young woman. She saw herself 40 years ago. Young, idealistic, not yet hardened by reality. Because humanity has a long memory, Kowalski said. We remember every war we fought on Earth, every genocide. Every time the peaceful were conquered by the ruthless. Every time the weak were destroyed by the strong. We remember what it feels like to be helpless, to be victims, to watch our cities burn and our people die. She pointed at the stars visible through the window. When we reached for those stars, we made a promise. Never again. Never again would humanity be the victim. Never again would we be helpless. Never again would we depend on the mercy of others. So we built a fleet that no one could defeat. A fleet so powerful that no one would dare attack us. A fleet that would ensure our survival for generations to come. But isn't that paranoid? The cadet asked. Isn't that excessive? Kowalski smiled grimly. The Zalthari thought we were weak. They thought our caution was fear. They thought our patience was helplessness. They learned better. And now every other species in this galaxy knows the truth. Humanity does not bluff. Humanity does not show weakness. And humanity never ever forgets. She put her hand on the cadet's shoulder. You will command ships in this fleet one day. You will have power beyond imagining. Use it wisely. Use it to protect. Use it to defend those who cannot defend themselves. But never ever hesitate to use it when necessary, because the moment we appear weak, the moment we show mercy to those who show us none, that is the moment someone will try to destroy us again. The cadet saluted and left. Kowalski returned to her office. She looked at the star map on her wall. It showed all of human space, all the colonies, all the bases, all the ships, 40 years of planning, 40 years of building, 40 years of preparation, all for one purpose, to make sure humanity survived, to make sure they thrived, to make sure no one ever mocked Earth's fleet again. The fleet was still there, still hidden in some places, still visible in others. 500,000 dreadnoughts ready, waiting, watching. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Earth was not to be trifled with. Humans were not weak, and anyone who forgot that lesson would be reminded quickly and decisively. In the council chambers, a new saying became popular. When debates grew heated and threats were made, someone would always say the same thing. Remember the Zalthari. 3 words. That was all it took. 3 words to remind everyone what happened to those who underestimated humanity. 3 words to ensure peace. Ambassador Chen Wei heard those words often. Each time he felt a mixture of pride and sadness. Pride that humanity was respected. Sadness that respect had come through violence, but he knew the truth. The universe was not kind. Peace did not come from good intentions. It came from strength, from the ability and willingness to defend yourself and others. Humanity had learned that lesson the hard way, over thousands of years of war on Earth. Now the galaxy was learning it too. And as long as the 500,000 dreadnoughts remained ready, as long as humanity remembered why they built them, the lesson would not need to be taught again.